Welcome back to next video. In this one we are going to see the why Playwright is little better than Selenium. Okay, so I have opened a Playwright page as well as the Selenium page. So we'll discuss a few points that are based on my experience. Okay, I have not researched much on it, but so far in last 2 to 3 years, whatever I have seen, based on that one, I'm going to point out the things that why Playwright is little better than Selenium. Okay, in the beginning itself, I'm telling you, Playwright is definitely better. Okay, so first, if you see opening a browser, okay, that is where the script starts. With Selenium, every time you have to open the browser, but when it comes to Playwright, you don't have to open the browser every single time. You have fixtures, just you need to mention page. Page is something similar to your driver in Selenium. So the moment you mention page, it will open the browser. Okay, if you inside a test, if you just write a page in the fixture, in the what you call in the parameters, so automatically browser opens, as well as the browser closes after the test ends. So this is one benefit when you are using Playwright. But when it comes to Selenium WebDriver, every single time you have to write this particular thing, like driver equal to new Firefox WebDriver, or driver equal to new Chrome driver, something like that. You keep on writing it, so you can avoid this thing when you are using Playwright. Okay, the second thing, maybe this is the most important thing, Selenium is a tool. Actually, it's a tool that is going to open a browser and perform the operations. But when it comes to Playwright, actually Playwright is a fork of Puppeteer. The Puppeteer was originally designed with a Node.js. Okay, so what they designed is, there is a browser called Chromium, which is basically an engine, you can call it, but the browser is also there. So based on that one only, Chrome and Edge were built. So the team wanted to have the engine as the automation tool. Okay, so they have built the same thing. So whatever you see as the browser, they have built it as the node models. So now when we talk in the Playwright or Puppeteer, the automation is nothing but the browser driving itself. But when it is in a Selenium, the tool drives the browser, but in this case the browser drives itself. So which means that there is always a faster, like let's say for example, if you are running, okay, you can run faster. But if somebody makes you run, then you can expect the speed little lower than the compared to previous one, like in case if you run it on your own. So with Selenium, it is bit slow compared with the Playwright. And one more thing is, Playwright is designed keeping in mind that it is going to most of the time used with no UI, which means that always it is an headless. Okay, that's what they kept it in the mind, and then they have created this particular tool. So it's a headless first. So by that itself, you can understand like it's going to be very faster. And when it comes to Selenium, you can make it as a headless. Previously it was a phantom JS, and then you had a HTML driver, but still somewhere it lags. Okay, and one more thing is, when you are using Selenium headless, most of the time you face little bit of issues with the headless, like I don't know, some uneasy you will feel to run it, because it will not give that fast with head and without head. So most of the time, if I'm not wrong, you don't even run with the headless, right? So when it comes to Playwright, normally we tend to write without head only. I mean, there is going to be no UI. Only when we want to debug, then only we use the UI. So the consistency between the UI and without UI, it's almost same. 99.9 percentage is same with the Playwright. But we cannot say the same thing for Selenium. That is the other thing. And coming inside the code, with Selenium, you have to use a test ng, okay, for your assertions. Okay, so with respect to Playwright, you can use the Python as well as the inbuilt assertions in the Playwright. So Playwright gives you inbuilt assertions. And the next thing is the what you call it, the weight of that particular browsers. Okay, so when you are using Selenium, most of the time you will use Chrome or Firefox. But when you are using a Playwright, you will be using either Chromium or Firefox or WebKit. So that is one of the advantage. When you are using Playwright, you can also invoke the WebKit. WebKit is nothing but your Safari browser that is used for Mac. But with Selenium, it is not possible in Windows machine. So with Playwright, with a Windows machine or Unix machine or Mac machines, you can invoke all of this. Okay, because Edge is something related with what you call Mac, sorry, Windows, and Safari is related with a Mac. But when you are using Playwright, irrespective of the OS, you can use all the browsers. But it's not the case for Selenium. Okay, so that is the other thing. Yeah, so these are the few things that makes Playwright little, competitive in the automation market. And one more thing is, when you are using Selenium, okay, you can capture the screenshots. It's very good actually. You can capture the screenshots, but the problem is only you can capture the screenshots, nothing more. Okay, but when it comes to Playwright, you can capture the screenshots, you can capture the video, you can capture the tracing. Okay, something like screenshots is, again goes into the like multiple full page screenshots as well as the element screenshot. Let's say for example, if you want to find a button and only take the screenshot of that particular button, you can take it with Playwright, but with Selenium it is not possible. Okay, the same way for a full size screenshots. I mean, if the page is multiple scrolls, then you can capture it with Playwright. I guess recently they have developed with Selenium as well, but I'm not sure. Recently I have not tested it. And this is with the screenshots. And again, Playwright provides you a video. Okay, basically if you open a browser, it will start capturing the video. I mean, you have to invoke it, so but it is inbuilt one. With few commands you can just try, if you code a few lines of code, you can start the video recording, so you will get the video recording as well. So this will be useful for debugging at the end. There is one more feature called tracing. Okay, this is the one big feature that differentiates between Selenium and the Playwright. So this is also related with the debugging. So what it happens is, like for example, let's say I'm opening this browser. Okay, this is the page I wanted to test. Okay, now I want to click this thing and I want to do something. Okay, for example, if I click it here, see there is a network calls happening as well as there is a screen, the UI change, right? With the Playwright tracing, you can see both of them after the test case execution, like what calls happen, what calls failed, all this stuff you can find it with the tracing. Okay, so this is one big advantage when you are coming with Playwright. At the same time, most of the time we don't use this tracing because it generates a huge file. Let's say for example, a 2 minutes of execution, or let's say like 20 to 30 actions may generate about 80 MB. Okay, so we normally do not do the tracing for what you call it, for running bigger suits, but when you want to debug, then it is definitely useful. Okay, so this is the place again the Playwright shines. There is one more place. Now you're seeing this network calls, right? With the Playwright, you can easily tap onto this network calls and get the details of it. Let's say for example, I want to get this network call and what is the detail it is coming in, like error codes, previews, and what response it is coming in. Every single thing you can capture it using the listeners in Playwright. But with Selenium it is bit difficult, but still you can do it, but it is bit complex. Okay, that's what I felt. Okay, so these are the few things that makes Selenium look like what you call it, little lesser advantaged, but when the Playwright is little more advantageous compared with the Selenium with these points. Okay, so now let's see where Selenium excels. Okay, the one thing is community. You have a lot of community, lot of tutorials, so a lot of stuff you have, you can do it. Sometimes when I used to face a problem with Playwright, we used to keep on browsing almost like 200 to 300 pages. I mean, we don't find in most of the pages nothing. Okay, so when you search for something, you don't find it with Python, you will find it with JavaScript. So that is one problem. Sometimes what we do is like, with the JavaScript you understand the code and then try to mimic same thing in the Python. Okay, so there is that particular disadvantage that the community is not that great. Okay, But when it is in a Selenium, it's been around from 2012, the WebDriver, okay, or earlier, but it has become famous from 12. So from that time it has established the community. So you ask for any question, you will get the help, or somebody might have written an article about it. Okay, so that is one thing. And the second thing is the weights with Selenium. It's so easy to do it, but when it comes to Playwright, there are few inbuilt. I mean, it will do the same thing as the Selenium, but it is little bit complex to understand. Okay, that's what I feel. So apart from that one, everything is similar manner only. And when it comes to Playwright, one more thing with the Python Playwright that I noticed is there is no proper reporting, HTML reporting stuff. Okay, I was thinking like let's develop one thing for open source it, but I was thinking okay, maybe we'll do it in later point, but that is also one of the thing that is missing. Okay, for example, if you are taking Selenium, you have extent reports, and there are few other reports that will give you better results. Okay, so these are the few things that I felt that Playwright is little better than Selenium. Yeah, Selenium excels because it's been long time here, but Playwright also has, getting enormous support now. So we are going to see Playwright in the upcoming videos. Okay, so thank you for watching. And the same article, whatever we have discussed, same text article can be found in this URL. Okay, so you just come into this website tester.com and go to Playwright Python. Okay, so here you can find the text article, this one, and in all video courses you can find the same video, this video, as part of a course. Okay, the course is going to be free. Thank you. Bye.